Welcome everybody. Let's take a look at the market. The first thing we're going to look at is the Dow Jones Transportation. And you can see that it's been working its way down. So this cycle it's in right now is trying to go positive momentum. And today was a green day, but overall this still looks weak to me. You know, it would have to get way up here for this cycle to be stronger than the previous cycle. At the moment, I don't see that happening. It may happen, but probably not. It's going to roll over and make its way down probably July 30th. It may even take out this low down here. So far this just looks like it's a weak cycle and doesn't have a lot of momentum to make it go, to make it get higher than the previous cycle's high. So I think this is probably going to fail on the left side here and start to go down. Maybe like this, a little bounce, boom. Similar to this cycle back here. We'll keep an eye on it. So Dow Jones Transportation to me still looks weak. Okay, let's look at the Russell 2000. The daily I do. Now, it's crossed over down here momentum wise, but it's still in negative territory. And, this SMI, well, it may do that. It may go that way, down. And this one, this cycle peak is lower than the previous one, and it's working its way down. So July 8th, it's only 6 days away. So I don't think we're going to get a huge pullback in here or anything, but the 2-hour chart on the Russell 2000 is positive on the momentum. And the 2-hour directional indicator has gone green. So there is some short-term momentum on the 2-hour chart, positive momentum going on. So we'll see if that plays out enough to make this, daily chart turn around and start going up. Okay, so far this still looks weak. So the Dow Jones Transportation and the Russell 2000 still look weak to me. Okay, so now let's take a look at the S&P 500 futures. So S&P 500 futures here on the daily chart, it had a decent up day, 67 range. Momentum's trying to cross over, kind of holding its own there for a little bit of a bump here on the SMI. So we'll see if it starts going that way again, or does this just fail and continue down. The 2-hour chart, the directional 2-hour chart, looks very peaky. It is in positive momentum, but it looks very kind of peaky. So we'll see what happens there. It was a pretty decent up day overall, though. Okay. So the S&P 500, though, just looking at it, come from a high-level view, still looks bullish. I mean, this is just sideways chop. And that would normally be a bullish occurrence. Right? This is very bullish when I see this kind of stuff going on. Though, the middle of we're way past the middle of this cycle, and usually you'd get a bounce there. We didn't get that here. We just got sideways track. So I shouldn't have said very bullish, but this tends to be kind of a bullish behavior. If you look back over here, Exactly what happened here, right? And it took off. And that got way up to 90. Right now we're at 66, so there's room to go there. Okay, and if you look over here in the middle of this cycle, kind of the same thing. But this one declined. All right, so this is going to break one way or the other. There's going to be a break here. It's not going to stick sideways forever. This is going to break. Maybe we get a little pullback into this July 11th. You know, whatever. Might just be like 100 points. A little small, little nothing pullback. Right now, market still, for the S&P 500 index, still looks bullish to me. Okay, let's look at the intraday charts. I didn't have any trades today personally. Just felt like, you know, I looked at gold. I looked at all three indexes. I could have checked out some other futures products, but I didn't. So just been keeping an eye on the three indices, or indices, and gold. And I really didn't see anything that made me like, wow, I got to trade this. Now the S&P 500 as it stands right now at this moment as I'm doing this video, and we're coming up on the close for futures here in about 10 minutes, it does look very peaky to me, both on the 1 hour and 2 hour chart. So, there may be something there. I may nibble on that a little bit with a really small one position contract and see if it gives up a little bit of price action overnight, and kind of keep on it tonight. And, you know, I'll whatever, if I can pick up a few $100 on it, I will. All right, so let's look at the intraday charts. Where were, if any, trades of the day? All right, we're on the 5-minute chart here. And guys, you know, I mean, this is another just banging opportunity. Here's a Giddus Plus indicator, which happened at 8:05 my time here in Texas. You can see the plum little candlestick, and it happened, let's draw a line right there, just basically right at the top of this line. But there's several things going on here that make this trade kind of easy to trade. Ideally it would have been down here, okay, but it happened here. Now there's a few things about this trade that make it kind of easy to trade. One is the gap between the two lines in the SMI, and the other is that the MACD, look at this. The momentum is going positive, right? See this? See how this big gap is going on in here? So you can start to see the two lines are gapping. So this gap is widening, right? It went from narrow over here. Let me clear the screen. You see how the MACD over here right on the zero line is kind of narrow, but then starts to not only go vertical, but the distance between the two lines starts to widen? Yeah, that's positive momentum starting to really get ahead of steam, right? Starting to get going like a locomotive. Yeah, so here, we're about right there, right on that top line, momentum's going positive, boom, you're in. And you can just monitor it, right? All the way up to here. Bam. Even if that's all you did, this thing just kept running all day long. But even if that's all you did right there, I mean, look how strong this momentum is, way up here. See, a lot of people don't understand that. When you have this kind of momentum that's way elevated like this on the 5-minute chart, of course, you gotta look at the 15-minute and the 1 hour chart too, and the daily chart and the weekly chart. You gotta be aware of all that. Okay, to really and understand the cycles. It's, you know, the big picture, you got to keep an eye on it. But, you know, in this case, looking at intraday trading on the 5-minute chart here, you would never trade the 5-minute chart or any chart isolated by itself. That's a really bad idea. Always be aware of all the charts, different time frames. Okay, but in any case, this is very strong momentum. And you can see the SMI just stayed near the top. See how it did that? See how this came down here? Never got anywhere near the bottom. See how it didn't come way down here and went back up? That is a sign right there to tell you to go long again. As soon as you see this thing curling back up, That's very positive momentum. That's an indication of a very strong market. And sure enough, it just kept going. But if all you did is trade this, okay, this was 10 points from here to here, and another, I'm going to call it 5. So if all you did today was trade this little area right here after this signal, yeah, that was 15 points. It is just huge money right there if that's all you did. Okay, but the seasoned trader, right, the veteran trader, the one that's paying attention to things, would know that this right here is a very strong indication to the market. It has some nice positive momentum, and you can jump back in as soon as it curled up like that. You're just off to the races. That is a very positive sign. And boom, it takes off again all the way up to here and levels off. Okay, and you can see it starts to give it up here a little bit, right? As you start to see it to roll over, probably like right here, you get out of the trade. Okay, so you've got another 10 points right there. Maybe you give back a little bit. Okay, so we had 15 over here pretty easily, and we'll call this 7. Okay, maybe give back 3 points right here in this area. Okay, it comes down, takes off again. Look where momentum is. Sure, it made a big dip. You got to be careful of that, but it crossed over right here. It's still above the 0 line. Right? Just all this, everything from this point on going this way. Look at the momentum on this chart. It stayed positive the whole time. All day long, it was positive. Positive, positive. It stays way up here in the positive territory. Right? It's well above the 0 line. So on this one, you just wait for the crossover to happen. Okay, which is about right there. Boom, you're back in the trade. Whammo. Probably ride it all the way to the top of this one. So maybe somewhere in this area. Okay, that's another 10 to 12 points, and that one didn't really give much back. So even if we played this conservative, I'll say 11 points. So it isn't always about, hey, the Gittes Plus indicator gave me a signal, and I only trade that signal. If you do that, that's usually going to be pretty safe. You're still going to make some really nice money on 15 points. But I'm just showing you how you can re-enter on a strong market like today. When you see this momentum above the 0 line staying up like that, okay, you want to take advantage of when the dips happen and you start going up, you jump in again. You don't always have to wait for the Gittes Plus indicator to give you another signal here. This is my point. Because it's not going to give you another signal. It's just positive the whole way. Okay, so I see 15, 7, and 11. 26, 36, 33 points if my math is right. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that 23 points? Oh, I'm sorry. This is 15. Yeah. Right. 25, 35. 25, 26, 33. Yep, 33 points. You all know the deal. If you've been watching my videos for any length of time, just add 2 zeros. Put a dollar sign in front of it. That's 2 E-mini contracts. Okay? If you're doing a one-timer, one contract, that's 1,500, 1,650. Okay? Huge money today. And if you're a really small retail account and you're trading micros instead of minis, just move it over, move the decimal place one spot over, put it right there. Okay, so $330 for 2 contracts, $165 for 1 contract, and you can always multiply by whatever number of contracts you think you could have afforded. Okay, so whether you're a small retail account, medium-sized retail account, a large retail account, whatever it is your account size is, there was just opportunity here today. This was a monster mash day and plenty of opportunity to trade it. Now, I didn't trade it because I've been doing a little bit more swing trading lately and playing a little bit safe, and not doing too much strictly intraday trading. Okay, but it doesn't mean the opportunities aren't there. Like yesterday, I took advantage of gold, which was a really short-term swing trade. I think it was like a little more in a day, maybe. Okay. and I traded gold futures and made $700. So that's what I've been doing lately. I'm kind of really short-term swing trades is where I'm at because I'm using the 2-hour chart. Okay, but you can, if you're available during the day to do intraday trading, I mean, this is it, man. This is this is huge money. Let's look at the 15-minute chart real quick, and we'll finish up this video. There's really not too much going on here, right? You can see positive momentum happened, and the GS Plus indicator did give a signal here. Look how positive momentum is, blazing above the 0 line. Okay, so that was an entry right there. Wait for the dip, and again, just like on the 5-minute chart, this thing never got to the bottom, never got down here, turned. So even if you're looking at the 15-minute chart, boom, you're back in the trade somewhere right around this area, and you're just gone. You know, the 15-minute chart's a little bit more clarity, right? Not as many candlesticks. You can see how positive the day was. All right, but the 5-minute chart's is gonna help fine-tune your entries and exits a little better, and help, you know, keep the risk kind of tight, right? Keep your risk down. Right, it's going to keep your risk down. Because you never know, this could have really pulled back hard, right? It didn't, but it could have. So the 5-minute chart would have got you out in this area, and you just play the waiting game for it to bounce, which we saw that it did. But just this one thing, a lot of people, just the basic stuff, man, keep an eye on momentum. If momentum is that strong throughout the whole day, oh my goodness, just buy the SMI dips. Make sure they start to curl up and then buy them. Super nice. Okay, you saw how money was made today. I talked about my swing trade from gold from yesterday. I talked about the 2-hour charts. I showed the Dow Jones Transportation and the Russell 2000, which a lot of times are kind of helping to forecast what other indices may do. We see that they're still kind of running negative, right? They're still looking weak. Right, I showed opportunities for intraday trades on the S&P 500 intraday charts. By the way, those charts are down here. Okay, the link for the membership is in the description below this video, and also it's going to be the first comment pinned at the top. Just make sure you read those instructions very carefully. Click on the discord.com link. It's going to bring you to get a server, then click on server shop. Brings you to this page right here. $7.99, guys and gals. Right, you saw how much money could be made today. A lot of money was made today. I guarantee I had members today that made big money. Okay, the streaming charts are down here. We looked at the 5-minute, the 15-minute today, but there's also a 1-hour chart. Okay, so if you want to get the streaming charts, there they are. Just join, click down here, get the S&P 500 futures streaming charts. Okay, when you do join, just ask me in member chat where the new members video is, and I'll give you the link. Also, if you want to look at the gold streaming charts, because I have those as well, there's all the 5-minute, 15-minute, 1-hour gold streaming charts. Just ask me for the link, and I'll give you that as well. You can get the streaming charts for gold. Okay. The 1-hour cycles have been pretty good lately. There was a 4 a.m. hourly cycle on the 1-hour chart in the S&P 500 streaming charts, which is one of the 3 charts that get streamed. And that thing was basically right on the button last night. 4 a.m. in the morning. I think it eventually bottomed around 6 a.m., but it was pretty good. That cycle low was a money maker. Okay, so that's another thing you could take advantage of. When you look at the streaming charts, you want to look at the hourly chart. You want to look at the big cycles that are on those hourly charts. They're very helpful. Every night I send out emails. Okay, so make sure you put your email address in the emails only channel. You're going to get 5 charts in that email. You get the weekly and the daily S&P 500 futures chart that has the cycles on there, really nice. You're also going to get 3 2-hour directional charts, and these things are very powerful. They have my 2-hour directional indicator on there. It's super simple. If it's green, it'll be a green line. That index is in positive direction. If it's a red line, it's negative. It's really that simple. Okay, and there's 3 of those charts for the 2-hour directional charts. There's the SPX, which is the SP 500. There's the NDX, which is the NASDAQ, and there's the RUT, which is the Russell 2000. So a total of 5 charts go in the email every night, Monday through Thursday. I also give a few sentences of my opinion about what I think the market might do the next day. Okay. Like last night, I thought today would be a down day. Well, I was wrong. I don't always get it right, but I still give my opinion about what I think the market's going to do. Okay. Today was an up day. All right. But I'm still going to give my opinion because it's better to give my opinion and people can look at it. They can look at the charts and make the decisions for themselves. Okay. But I'm more than happy to chime in and give my opinion. A lot of times I get it right. I'm not going to get it right every time. Okay. In addition to the streaming charts for both S&P 500 and gold, when we looked at the intraday charts today for the trades of the day, did you notice I talked about the Gittes Plus indicator? That indicator sends, anytime it thinks there might be a trade, it sends an alert over to this alert channel here. Okay. So you can just right click on this S&P 500 alerts channel and turn notifications on. And you can do the same thing for gold if you want to track gold. So really nice. Every day I put premium symbols Monday through Thursday in the premium symbols channel. I think today for futures I saw natural gas and I saw something else in there. I can't remember what it was. I want to say wheat, but it wasn't wheat. There's one other product in there, natural gas and something else. Okay, there's also optional stocks in there. There's short symbols in there and industries in there. So for those guys and gals that want to know where the money flow is, you want to look at those industries because that's where money's flowing in and out of. And that's why those symbols are in there. Really nice. All right. Fixed income. I often parlay my profits from my intraday or swing trades into corporate bonds. When I do that, I'll post what corporate bonds I'm buying in here at the fixed income so you can keep an eye on it. That's a really good idea, by the way, guys and gals. Don't just trade and keep your cash sitting in your account. Put it to good use, right? If you have enough money, or save up some money to buy some rental real estate property so you can maybe get into rental property and you can generate some income that way if you're into something like that. I buy corporate bonds. I'm making, whatever, anywhere from 6, 7, 8, 9% interest on my bonds. Depends what bonds I'm buying. Okay. So do something with your profits. Don't just let them sit in your account. That's a bad idea because guess what's going to happen? You're going to have some days where you lose money and now the profits are gone. So it's better to parlay those profits into something that's going to give you something that's an investment. So I've been talking about this lately because a lot of people don't get this right. There's a difference between trading and investing. T for trading, I for investing. Okay? You take your profits from your trades and you invest. Okay? And you repeat the cycle over and over and over. If you have losses in trading, that's going to happen. But what you're not going to do is you're not going to liquidate your investments because you took profits and stuck it into your investments. Like I said, that could be rental property if you're going to buy some real estate and rent it out. That could be corporate bonds like what I do. There's a lot of different ways. You could put it into a business. Okay, there's a lot of different ways you can use your money from your trading, okay, whether that's day trading or swing trading, and you invest it. That's long-term stuff. All right? You got to do both. Otherwise, you're just churning money going around and around and around and around. All right? Okay, last thing we're going to talk about. So you get all that for $7.99. That's a super, super deal. Last thing we're going to talk about is the rules. Just real quick, there's refund rules in there. Make sure you read it when you join. There's also a disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. Okay? No matter if it's me or anybody else, no matter what they say or do on this server, everything is strictly educational purposes. Okay? No financial advice is implied whatsoever. And that's the way it's got to be, guys and gals. Use the service for you to make some bank, okay? But you're responsible for your own trades. Okay? The service is going to help you. It's going to help you make money if you're patient. All right? And the last thing is, don't be a troll. Don't come in here giving people a hard time, acting like you know everything, telling people what to do, coming in with an attitude. Don't do that, okay? Because I'm going to delete your junk, and I might kick you or ban you if it gets bad enough. So don't be that person. Just come in, enjoy the service, make some bank, be a part of the community, okay? All right, that pretty much covers it, everybody. Happy trading, everybody. God bless everybody. Talk to you all real soon again next time.